Jonathan here. I'm here with the new Reed Runner preamp that I got from Avion Studios. Now I bought this and I agreed with Avion Studios that it would be great to make a video about it. So they gave me kind of a rebate so that I can provide some examples of it. I will talk about it, but not go into all the details. If you're interested in that, I encourage you to check out the website and also just the general informations. So yeah, this is a new preamp for the Wurlitzer. It's a drop-in, so you remove the old one, you put the new one in. It's not as easy as it is with the Rhodes preamp that they sell, but it's still pretty easy. I'm not an electronic tech wizard, but I was able to do it on my own. The instructions are really clear. You just have to be careful and take your time. What I think firsthand that's really great about this preamp compared to other ones is that you don't need to modify the faceplate, but it brings all the functions you get from other preamps and more. For instance, you get an effect loop that's included, which is great if you want to hear the effects from the speakers. You get a tone pot, which I believe no other preamp provide you with, so you get a boost in the mid frequency response with this knob here, and you get variable speed tremolo, which is something you get with other preamps, but you have to drill another hole and have another knob, so that actually modifies your Wurlitzer and it's not in stock condition anymore. This you can take out and put back the original amp in if you want, and you don't have to modify it, which is great. And it also provides the option to have the Wurly in stereo panning effect like you would a Rhodes. It's not for everyone, but if you want that, it's great to have that. You can even use this inboard speaker in stereo to have that stereo width, which is amazing. And the way they achieve that is by having dual concentric knobs. So you have one for the volume of the speaker here, like that. You can turn it on and off with this knob, which is great too, because with regular amp Wurlitzer you have to actually put a jack in the headphone socket to turn off the speakers. Here you have a knob in front for that. Like I said, you have a tone pot here, which makes it, here it's a bit duller but also warmer, which can be great for some style of music. It also, to me, sounds more like an earlier model Wurlitzer. Kind of tube-like, which is strange because it's not a tube amp, but it does remind me of that. And then you can crank it up all the way here. And it's way more aggressive and punchy, which I actually prefer in most cases. That's what I go to the Wurlitzer for. If I want a warm tone, I'll go to something else. But if I want to have that crunch and the punch, I want that tone, and it cranks it up, so it's great. It's not a fix for a Wurly that is in poor condition. You still have to regulate it, but it can help bring some of those harmonics to life, which is great. Now the next feature, like I said, is the tremolo. Here, let's turn it off just so you can hear for sure a standard Wurly. So that's it in mono with no panning going on. Now if I kick it in, let's put it all the way on. So it goes from left to right now because it's set in stereo. If you want to change a stereo or mono setting, you have to go inside the Wurly, so you have to remove the screws every time, which is a little bit of a constraint, but usually you will set it to one or the other and you leave it at that, your preferred one, and you don't change it. Otherwise, yeah, you also get an effect loop that goes under here. There are many routing options. Personally, I went with the option of using the already drilled hole that I had in my 200A. All the Wurlys have different configurations, so you have to make do with what you have. You can obviously drill new holes. I didn't want to do that, so what I went with is one jack for the direct out, which is a TRS, stereo out. So you have to use a Y cable to bring it into an interface, but that actually saves you one hole. And also I went with it's not a TRS plug, but I mean it's a effect loop where you need a Y cable too, so it's a send and return in the same jack. So that way I could use the two already drilled hole for that. You also get a switch to turn it on and off, which I installed in the volume trim pod that was there before. So it's great too. That's how you turn it on and off. Otherwise, yeah, so that's how it looks. It's just a small faceplate that you add here with the knobs. You get to keep all the original parts if you want to swap them back in anytime. What I think also is great is that, well, it's very silent, as you can hear. Before installing this, it was okay, but I was still picking up more interference. I was planning on changing the transformer, but I ended up not needing to because of the new Reed Runner amp, so that's great. I like that they use high quality parts. Otherwise, what else is there to say about it except it just sounds great. You get a lot of options. Inside, you can change the send and return volume when you open up the Wurlitzer. I'll show you later a snippet of the inside so you can see how it looks. I think it's a bit hotter than the original one, which is great. But then again, I said you have a switch where you can put +4 or a dB or -10 depending on what you need for an amp or for interfaces, so you get some flexibility here. Yeah, so I'll just play some examples for you and I hope you enjoy it. I think this is a great amp for anyone who wants to up their Wurlitzer game. For me, it's a bit of a luxury, meaning that if you have a good working amp, maybe you don't want to change it, but for me, I always want to have what's best for my instruments. I do the same with my Rhodes. I try to get the best preamps because I like to have the highest quality of sound and also all the functions. But also, to me, is the best way to replace an old amp that's not working. Instead of recapping everything, trying to troubleshoot, you just buy this one, you put it in, and it works. Which to me saves a lot of time, money, and also just brings modern functionality to an old instrument. Yeah, so enjoy the audio examples and check out my other videos and check out Avion Studio. They are great people, they respond quickly, and they provide excellent parts and service. So here are some shots of the interior. Like I mentioned before, you have to remove some screws to access it. Actually 5 screws. Doesn't take that much time, but if you want to do it every day, it's a bit of a hassle. Otherwise, you just leave it as is. So you've got to remove those 2 screws here for the music rack, and you have 3 bottom screws that are in the front here. I've already removed them just so we can save a bit of time. So after that, you open the lid up. It's harder with one hand, and sometimes it's a bit hard, but you have to do it with a little bit of force. And it should lift up. Hang on, here we go. Yeah, so here is how it looks inside. Right now it's all attached to the lid because I have 200A. The speakers are mounted on the lid. Here, if you have a 200, they're going to be on the rail. So it's a super clean amp that, like I said, takes place of the other one. And another cool feature I didn't mention before is that the pots are on the nameplate, or rather on the lid, and not on this rail here. So you don't have to remove the knobs every time like you had to do with the other amp. And also another thing I like is that for the 200A, it's a tech detail, but they used to have a separate PCB just for the harp, which where you would plug the RCA. Now you have it like a regular 200, where you have the RCA jack that goes there, and that's all. The rest is all here. And I mentioned, I don't know if you can see clearly, but you have a switch here. I'll try to prop the lid with my other end. Yeah, you have a switch here that switches mono or stereo. So that's mono, and that's stereo. So it's a easily accessible switch. You also have a line level switch. It's all detailed in the manual anyway, but it's all here. You have 2 knobs, small black knobs here, which you can set the send and return level for the FX preamp. And you can also change the speaker impedance. That's not really something I will use, but yeah, you get that option too.